You are watching Liberty Online TV.
This is Liberty Online TV powered by Orange Sierra Leone. Orange. This is Liberty Online TV powered by Orange Sierra Leone.
For the news we get around, log into Liberty TV online. Positively we bring the change. They get the masses involved. Staffs them everywhere. We climb the mountain just to get the news. We go down the slums to get the views.
All right, good afternoon, viewers, or sorry, good evening. Of course, I so want to welcome you to Liberty Online Television. And like always, we always there so for ensure say we bring to you commentaries and also analysis whenever the national team they play. Because this now way for Liberty Online Television also contributes to the development of sports in the country. Like always, every Saturday we can ensure say we bring to you updates about local sport in the country. We always prioritize with local sports, ranging from the Sierra Leone Premier League and the different other sporting disciplines where they play in Sierra Leone. And of course, you know, inside the match, we see Leone Star be play against Guinea-Bissau. We'll be ensure we'll bring to you commentaries on our match day throughout. And of course, today again, we're there for bringing to you another updates on the match we're about for kickstart inside Egypt. You know, as Leone Star set for play against Egypt, now the turn leg. And of course, you see the players now, they assemble. And Leone Stars still, they see how best they want for secure space inside the 2026 World Cup we will play inside America, Mexico, and Canada. And like always, in the studio, we can also me alongside Alhassan Kouma, and of course, me and Mohamed Kamara. Gets with me Alhassan Kouma. We can always serve as me co for ensure we'll bring to you all the latest happenings we always can happen within the national team. Alhassan, good evening. And of course, today we're there again for the match between Sierra Leone and that of Egypt.
Yeah, of course, my pleasure for that. And of course, the one for, welcome all football folks across the world, including Sierra Leone. Of course, Sierra Leone played today against Egypt, one of the powerhouse, you know, in terms of football in Africa. So, however, it will be a kind of competitive match, you know, inside the African World Cup qualifier 2026. Of course, today, as you will see the lineup for the starting lineup for Egypt and that of the substitute, we'd expect to see Sierra Leone able for register the second 3 points after we win against Guinea-Bissau by 3-1. From that impressive performance, we Leone Star we put inside that particular match day. We expect to see, you know, the same replica of that kind of performance, you know, inside this other match we will play today, Egypt. So of course the match they're about to start. And of course we want to see within the country go achieve inside this particular match, because if you look at the two countries, Sierra Leone, somebody will say we are underdogs based on performance, based on world ranking, based on African ranking as well. So they get more players than the likes of Mohamed Salah, the Mohamed Elani, we be on the play for Arsenal and all. So of course, it go for be a very tough match for Sierra Leone today. And although we don't just look at that because of they get quality players, we can just sleep within our wings. So of course, we'd expect to see the kind of robust changes in the squad. Although we see other players, they will not be playing inside Guinea-Bissau match. We see them within the squad. We would expect to see a little bit change within the dynamics of that particular. But the likes of Sabadia not be there in the match. Kaikama be coming from the substitute camp. Of course, this match again is start for Leone Star. So all they expect to see a good result, Mohamed, because winning against Egypt go take we first inside the group. So it has to be must win for Sierra Leone.
Of course, it has to be a must-win for Sierra Leone. Good evening and welcome. In case you're just joining us, you're live on Liberty Online Television. And of course, like always, we're here today to provide you commentaries on the match between Sierra Leone and that of Egypt in the 2026 World Cup qualification matches that is ongoing. And of course, you know, we saw Sierra Leone played against Guinea-Bissau. It ended in 3-1 victory in favor of Sierra Leone. And today again, we're here to honor the return leg, you know, against Egypt right there in Cairo. And of course, Leone Stars set to lock arms with Egypt in very, very tight fixtures. As a lot of fans referring to this one as a dim-dum battle, a match of two equals, even though on paper, definitely you can tick Egypt to be on the safer side because they are far above us in terms of ranking, Africa and that of the world ranking. They are far off than Sierra Leone. But quickly, let me just take you up to speed in the team sheet for Darling Leone Stars. Starting lineup, they have Alhaji Cisse in, you know, he happens to be the goalkeeper for Darling Leone Stars. Nathan Jallo in 12, Saliu Tarawali in 18 shirts, Abdullah Jumaba in 21, Alpha Toure in 5, Emmanuel Samadia in 19, Momo Ai Kamara in 17, Abu Dumbuya in 4, Teres Fona in 14, Kai Kamara is the team captain in 10, Alhassan Kuroma in 8 shirts. So that's the team sheet for Darling Leone Stars. Starting lineup. On the substitute side, they have Francis Kuroma in 23 and Beruila in 11, Ibrahim Toure in 6, Ali Conte in 20, Sitaba in 17, Dauda Bangura in 16, Hassan Nkrumah in 22, David Jane in 15, and Mohamed Bangura in 13, Momo El Dumbuya in 7, Musa Noah Kamara in 9, and also we have John B. Cisse in 2 shirts. So that's the team sheet for Darling Leone Stars. Of course, you know, Alassane, we saw a kind of change in the previous squad that Mohamed Kalon, the head coach for Leone Stars, selected for the match against Guinea-Bissau. You know, we saw a little bit of change. Kai Kamara, you know, in the match against Guinea-Bissau, he came from the bench, you know, but this time around you see Musa Tobo, who started in that match. Now he's on the bench for the match against Egypt. And also we saw another changes again from the substitute side in the previous match. That's Emmanuel Samadia. He's part of the starting lineup against Egypt today. So firstly, let's look at the squad. What do you make up of the team selection? Mohamed Kalon, the players he selected to face Egypt. You know, Egypt is a powerhouse in African football and it happens to be the defending champions.
Yeah, as it all started so far, and a minute has been played so far in this particular match, and we're expecting to see something good for Sierra Leone. Like you rightly mentioned, there is a little bit change within the squad of the Leone Star, as we saw the likes of Emmanuel Samadia being included in the squad, and that of Kai Kamara, who was on the substitute line in the previous match, and of course today he happens to be the captain and he's in the starting lineup for Sierra Leone. So all we're saying here is the fact that people believe in the leadership of Mohamed Kalon as head coach of our national team, considering his role that he's played in football and the kind of experience he has in as a coach for Sierra Leone. So of course it is a very difficult match. It's a complicated one for Sierra Leone because we are playing with a squad that is far more better than Sierra Leone in terms of ranking football and in terms of players that they have produced in African football and their participation in the different competitions across the world. So of course it's really a match to watch, but we can't just rely on the names that they have. We have better players as well that will compete. Remember, we have played with Nigeria, we hold them to draw, and they scored 4 goals. We came from the behind to level terms against Nigeria. Yeah. So of course they're playing Egypt. They are not we'll see that kind of team that probably could outweigh Sierra Leone in this present time that we have players who have been doing extremely well in terms of international and local football. So of course we hope to see all the best performance for Leone Stars in this particular match.
Indeed, we hope to see the very best performance for Darling Leone Stars. in these all important fixtures against Egypt. They happens to be one of the powerhouses in African football. They are the defending champions. Playing against Egypt, it means Leone Stars, they need to put up all amounts of seriousness because, with a win for them in this match, definitely there will be hope for Leone Stars securing qualification to the World Cup 2026 that will be played in Mexico and that of Canada. And of course, in the fourth segment, Alhassan Kouma will take you through. Then when we came from the recess, definitely I'll be the commentators that definitely take you through onto the end of the match.
We want to welcome you to yet another football encounter in the African World Cup qualifier. As Sierra Leone playing Egypt, a very good strike there from a distance from the Egyptians. It went far off for a goal kick to Darlene Leone says. Alhaji Cisse, he was a goalkeeper in the previous match that we played, Guinea-Bissau. He played for Easter Lions in the Sierra Leone Premier League. That was a very close shot for Leone. You see Mohamed Kalon calming the boys. They need to calm down with regards to the very first 5 minutes of play. In case you're just joining us, we bring you commentaries live from Liberty Television, our Facebook and our YouTube channel. It's the Egyptians having the possession at the left-hand side. It is really a very tough moment for Sierra Leone. A very good start for Egypt in the first 5 minutes of play. It's still the Egyptians on the possession. They are dictating the play how it's supposed to be. Good delivery there. That was a very good clearance from Sierra Leone. I tell you, Mohamed Kalon is very worrisome with regards to the start of this particular match. He's really not a happy man with regards to the performance of the boys. Well, let's wait and see how it will be for Sierra Leone. Is Jumaba and Kai Kamal as well for Darlene Leone says.
Mohamed Kalon was a kind of a bit relaxed during the match we played against Guinea-Bissau, but you can see Mohamed Kalon playing against Egypt is everywhere on the church line, demonstrating, communicating as well to his players. It tells you how determined he is and how important this fixture. He takes this particular fixture because this happens to be the deciding fixtures. If only Sierra Leone happens to secure a point in this one, definitely we are rest assured to qualify to the World Cup 2026.
It is absolutely a very intriguing moment so far in this match as Egypt leading the group with 13 points and Sierra Leone play with 8 points in the group. And I remember one of these teams will qualify straight to the World Cup. The leading team will qualify straight to the World Cup, while the second and third place will play in other competitions to qualify. Sierra Leone nothing, Egypt nothing in the first 7 minutes of play. Good possession there from Sierra Leone. At the central of the park is Al Hussein, started all over to the defense. Sierra Leone playing at the right hand side. They are in all blue. That's a normal call for Sierra Leone, moving forward towards the offensive. And the Egyptians started all over to the goalkeeper for them to continue with the play. But I tell you, it's a match of two equals, so to speak, in this particular match, in the most competitive African football qualifier for the World Cup 2026. And of course, both sides want to qualify. Both sides are the better team so far in the group, considering their output in their previous matches in this international football that have been playing over the past 2 or 3 days. Egypt on the position. We bring in your commentaries live here from our main studios at Liberty Television. It's another chance for the Egyptians, a very good one for goalkeeper Alhaji Cisse. He did have the confidence as a very young goalkeeper. In the very first match, he was introduced by Mohamed Kalon. It's a match we played against Guinea-Bissau. He did extremely well, though he conceded 1 goal in that particular match. But let's wait and see his output in these all-important fixtures. Egypt. So clearance here from Sierra Leone. Still Egypt dictating the match, having all of the possession in the first 8 minutes of play. It tells you they are very, very confident, and they have the professional players so far, Mohamed, in this particular match. So of course this could be a very difficult one for Sierra Leone, if only we had to sit behind to play on the counter-breaking offense, because that's what we are sensing in this particular match, that Sierra Leone is playing defensive-wise, while the Egyptians are more attacking.
Indeed, Sierra Leone want to concentrate more on securing the defensive area, because they know that you know, the Egyptian, their front line is very robust. Having Mohamed Salah, you know, is one of the leading striker in the world football. So I think Mohamed Kalon and his boys, they are very mindful of that. That's why they decided to play counter-breaking football. They sit on the defensive side where they hold on to the ball. They play on a counter-break, you know, kind of football. But I think whilst defending, you also need to attack, because if you fail to attack, you just keep defending. It means you give more access to your opponent to be able to, you know, penetrate through your defense. As you can see, that was a very good one. But I think Jumaba was there, you know, helping salvaging that situation for our darling Leone Stars. But so far, I think Mohamed Kalon need to apply more technicality and more skills in ensuring that we secure a point, or probably able to get the 3 points in this very match.
And it was Kapi Salu who was brought down at the left-hand corner, and the Egyptians are very robust. You sense Mohamed Salah played for Liverpool, one of the highest goal scorers in the English Premier League, and one of the most consistent strikers in the English Premier League so far over the past 2 years. Of course, it could be a very difficult one for Sierra Leone, playing alongside Mohamed Salah, who have multiple experience in football. And the ball went out of touch for a throwing opportunity to Sierra Leone. And this time is Emmanuel Samadia set for the throw. He was not with the squad in the previous match. One of the most consistent left backs for Sierra Leone. The Leone Stars of Sierra Leone on the position. A very good intervention there from the central midfield. I think it's Alosan. He plays it through to the striker. And the ball went the wrong direction. So goalkeeper for Egypt is very confident. And they've been doing extremely well, making things complicated for Sierra Leone. They're changing the preposition of the match, and they are dictating it how it's supposed to be based on the experience they have in African football. 3 man for Egypt. They're still holding on the possession, and Sierra Leone looking for the missing ball. Some awesome moments, mesmerizing performance for Egypt. Here they goes again. It could be dangerous for Sierra Leone. Ball in the box. Somebody applied with the header for Leone. Still Egypt picked up the loose ball. They're still holding on the possession in the half of Sierra Leone. And the technical team needs to be careful with regards to the performance of the boys. It is something we could question with regards to how it started so far in the first 10 minutes of play. Egypt in all red on the offensive. Sierra Leone looking for the missing ball. This time they picked up the ball. I think it's a yellow card has been shown. That was the very first yellow card. I think it's Abu Diaby who has been dressed up with a yellow card for that infringement. I think, yes, that was Abu Diaby in 4. It was a very early yellow card for Sierra Leone, which means the player needs to be careful with regards to the rest of the minutes remaining in this match.
And of course, Abu Diaby is one of the most robust midfielder within the center of the park, you know, and he's one of the players that always do the necessary and the most needful tackle, you know, in the center of the park. So securing a yellow card at this moment, I think it is really a bad one. Looking at the spots in which you know, the foul occurred, now it will be a kick for the guys of Egypt, and we all know Mohamed Salah is a very good free kick taker. You understand? Looking at that point, I think the goalkeeper needs to be very attentive. If not, it could be a problem on the side of our darling Leone Stars. But honestly, Mohamed Kalon need to be very, very tactical, whilst observing the match, including his backroom staff. The Egyptian guys, they are very skillful, like I mentioned earlier. Looking at the exposure, they have lots and lots of talented and players that have the exposure. They have been playing for so many big clubs across the world. So I think playing against them, we need to be very, very much attentive, in the way we defend, and as well as the way we want to continue with this system that Mohamed Kalon is currently playing, sitting on the defense. Whilst defending, you also need to attack. But if you continue to defend without attacking, definitely you pile more pressure on the defensive side. So I think they need to see how best they open space, open the game, take the ball to their opponent. Then I think that will make the defensive side and the goalkeeper it will be a bit easy for them. But if they continue with this, definitely it will be a problem on the side of Leone Stars.
It could be a very difficult moment for Leone Stars based on how it started so far, and things has been very complicated defensive wise for Darling Leone Stars. There is a very good chance for Egypt in that free kick, but however they got the ball again in the box for Leone Stars. Incredible one, fantastic opportunity for Mohamed Salah to get the opening of this particular match, and the ball went over the crossbar. Good precision. It's the captain, Mohamed Salah. He used to score from that distance. Look at how he got the ball. Good interception from the goalkeeper. I think he has a slight touch of that one, and the ball went miles off the goal line. It is a very difficult chance and a moment for Leone Stars. How we are going to navigate into this match is a pondering question in the studio, and I know it has been very difficult, Mohamed, compared to the previous match we played Guinea-Bissau. It shows the difference between Leone Stars and that of Egypt.
That tells you playing against Guinea-Bissau is a bit different from playing against Egypt. Looking at Egypt, you cannot compare them to that of Guinea-Bissau in terms of exposure and also record in terms of football. But I think Leone Stars, the coach and his technical team, they need not to be afraid of the match, because if they are afraid of the match, definitely the players themselves will not have the urge in the pitch of play. Because looking at the formation Mohamed Kalon is using currently on the pitch, it shows clearly that Leone Stars, they are afraid of the match. That's why they decided to play counter-breaking football, sit on the defense and failing to attack. That's one of the problems that I'm currently having with the team. Playing more defensive football, failing to attack, it will cause more problem for the team. So I think Mohamed Kalon and his technical team, they need to observe the match. As you can see, that was another possible, another visionary cross again from the midfield area on the side of the Egyptian. And Mo Salah is a very prolific player, very prolific striker. He could do anything at any time. So that's why they need to be mindful of him. And Mohamed Kalon, they need to see how they will take the ball to their opponents, not only keep on sitting on the defensive side. That will pile more pressure on the defense.
Egypt is everywhere. They are definitely everywhere, taking the ball possession in the first 17 minutes of play, and Sierra Leone playing behind the ball. And that is the question coming in for viewers out there, whether the technical side and the head coach need to change the dynamics, change the formation of this particular match for us to see an open possession football in these particular fixtures, because we have the players to compete and we have the players that have the experience to play Egypt in these all important fixtures. It's Egypt again. I think it's Mohamed Salah. He had been dispossessed. Good one there from the defensive area for Sierra Leone. It's still Leone Stars playing through the right hand side this time on the break. Let's wait and see which impact they could create. Kai Kamara plays it through. It had been given away. This time is the Egyptians very confident whenever they got on the ball, and it has been very difficult for Sierra Leone to penetrate to the offensive area of the Egyptians. Egypt still under possession. 18 minutes gone in the first half, and no goal had been scored. In case you are just joining us, we're bringing you live commentary from Liberty Television, and continue to send in your messages to our Facebook and YouTube channel, or you drop in your comments to the number +23274 200 545. Leone Stars on the position this time. It's still Leone Stars having the showing some dexterity on the break, being crowded with 5 Egyptian. I think it's a foul being committed. Very, very good free kick opportunity for Sierra Leone. Let's wait and see which impacts they could create out of this one. I think it was Al-Hussein. That was Al-Hussein. He played in Spain. He's professional football, and he's been one of the most consistent players for Sierra Leone over the past years. Free kick in a very crucial area in the pitch, and that goes for Leone Stars. Let's wait and see which impact they could create from this free kick spot. Was a very good chance for Al-Hussein to break through. 2 man of war being erected, and we have a couple of players screening for the delivery. It's Leone Stars' first opportunity from the free kick spot. Juma Ba is in the box alongside Alpha Toure and the rest of Leone Stars players. It's still Leone Stars having the ball on the right hand side. A very good stats, a very good precision. A header could come. Kai Kaman plays it through, and a very good try for Leone Stars, and that was a shot from a distance. That was Capisalio, who tried from 25 meters away. Egypt from the right hand side, shouting for to connect, plays it through for his compatriots. It's still the group leaders with 14 points, still holding on the possession. Drop the ball in to the wrong direction, and Leone Stars picked up the loose ball. Very confident. Somebody turns round for Leone Stars. Beautiful skills, changing play from left to right on the counter-breaking offense. It's still Leone Stars with that skillful moment. Let's wait and see. They have been dispossessed this time. I think the flag is up for an offside. That was a player in 17, caught himself, Momo Aikama. He was brought up from the under 20 side, one of the most phenomenal players for the under 20 of Sierra Leone. He won 3 man of the match award in the qualification stage for the under 20. And I remember Sierra Leone have qualified for the under 20 Nations Cup. A couple of days back, we played Morocco and Ghana in a friendly football match, and Momo Aikama was a player who was brought from the under 20 to the senior national team. It senses desperation as a young player coming up. Egypt, the very good delivery in the box, good save from Alpha Alaji Sise, the goalkeeper from Eastern Lions. And still Egypt having the possession. It is very complicating for Leone Stars, and the ball in the box. That was Jumapa. Oh, that's incredible save for Leone Stars. Outside. That was a foul. Good decision from the referee. Mohamed, you've been watching, and within this moment, things are really tough for Leone Stars, and we must up our game if only we don't want to concede in the first 45.
I told you earlier on, and in football, if you want to maintain or keep your defense safe, it means you need to continue to attack. If you fail to attack, definitely your opponent will attack against you. This formation that Mohamed Kalon is currently playing in the first 45 minutes, for me, I don't think it seems to be working right, because we see the pressure keep mounting on the side of Leone Stars. So for me, I think Mohamed Kalon needs to change the format of the entire match. And it's not that the players that he started with, they are not up to the task, but the formation he's currently using, there lies the problem. So for me, I think they need to go back to the drawing board. They need to open the match. Yeah, let them take the ball to their opponent. But sitting back in your defense without attacking, then you give more room to your opponent for him to continue to attack. That's what we're seeing here. So many opportunities on the side of the Egyptian. It's just that, you know, the goalkeeper had made 1 or 2 saves, you know, but I think if it continues as it is, definitely I don't see Leone Stars to able to navigate through or to pass this particular stage. But they need to see how best they will change the format, bringing in more players, you know, while defending at the same time. We also need to attack.
Yeah, it's very difficult for us. I think from our comment section, somebody is saying these commentators are really irritating. Don't have any motivating, motivational talk. But I don't think we have to motivate the players, because we have to give the right information to the public and our viewers with regards to how the match is training so far and who are holding on the possession. No matter we are supporting the youngsters, but however we definitely are doing what we're supposed to do in commentary. We're not here to be biased enough with regards to how the match is being played.
This is
so
something practical, Alassane.
Yeah.
You know, we are Sierra Leoneans, and we will love to see, you know, Sierra Leone emerge victorious in these fixtures. But again, I think if the players or the coach did not select the right players that will definitely give us the needed result, then for us the commentator, we don't have much to do with regards to that. Our responsibility here is for us to bring updates on what is currently going on the pitch and also analyze how the match is going so far. So I think the commentary, you know, we just need to say the practical things that is going on the pitch. We're not here to take sides. You know, we are Sierra Leoneans, and we'll be proud if only Sierra Leone emerge victorious, because that's what we're all praying to see, that Sierra Leone secure a spot in World Cup 2026. But so far, Leone Stars, they have the material, they have the players, they are very good. Looking at the starting lineup and also the players on the bench, we have a well-structured side, but the formation is the biggest problem affecting the team presently.
There's 25 minutes gone in the first half, and Sierra Leone nothing, Egypt nothing. But the pressure continued to mount in this particular match for a couple of opportunities and chances for the Egyptians, but they definitely find things complicated to send the ball at the back of the net. Likewise for Sierra Leone, who are having just one shot off target, and that was coming from, you know, Capisalio for Sierra Leone. It's a throw this time for the Leone Stars of Sierra Leone. Let's wait and see what impact they could create from this particular match. It's a very, very good start for Sierra Leone. The captain Kaikama showing some dexterity, and of course the whistle is gone. The Egyptians they are very angry so far for them to be in front to score, and they want to continue to lead the group. But let's see how it unfolds. Egypt on the possession. They are using more efforts, more of the possession is coming from the left hand side. It's another delivery this time. Jumaba cleared the way with the header. Still Sierra Leone pressing through the right hand side, and there's another throw. It's the World Cup 2026 qualifier in Africa. Samadia plays it for Kai Kamara, and it's very tough, and we want to say apologies for the pictures, and the technical team is working assiduously to bring you back pictures of this all important match in the 2026 World Cup qualifier. Sierra Leone playing Egypt, and some minutes gone in the first half, nothing for the two African teams. We are still working on with the technical team to bring you pictures for this match. And it's a corner. Mohamed Salah, the captain for Egypt, who's won more African awards so far. one of the most consistent player in Liverpool squad. Salah plays it for his compatriots. Still Egypt on the position. Leicester need to be careful this time. The delivery comes in. Good one from goalkeeper Alhaji Cisse. He's on pressure since the start of the match. Look at it. Salah with that delivery. And that goalkeeper did extremely well. And it's set for corner kick to Egypt. Fantastic save, Mohamed, from Alhaji Toure.
Indeed, it was a very good one and a perfect save there by the goalkeeper himself, Alhaji Toure. And of course, Leone Stars need to be mindful of the guys of Egypt. You know, we see they keep penetrating on the defensive side for the Leone Stars. Foul being committed there by Mohamed Salah, and the referee saw the action, he wasted no time. It sounds as whistle for an infringement. It will be a goal kick for the Leone Stars. So far, it is really an impressive performance on both sides, but Leone Stars, they are really, you know, having pressure from the side of the Egyptians. So many pressure keep coming from the side of the Egyptians, and of course, Mohamed Kalon needs to see how best to bring in more players, or continue to see how best he will go back to the drawing board. Let's see how we can also play counter-breaking football, or we also play more offensive football other than sitting on the defensive side. For me, I think if all the Leone Stars, you know, open the game a bit, definitely there is every possibility for us to record a goal. And also by so doing, we can also limit the guys of Egypt to keep penetrating on our defensive side. That's the first corner for the Leone Stars.
It is a corner for Leone Stars, and of course we are expecting to see they get something out of this corner. It's half an hour gone in the first half, and Sierra Leone nothing, Egypt nothing so far. Sierra Leone playing one of the most decorated African team in terms of football in Africa. The delivery comes in. A very good header. Egypt this time. The reply, they play through the right hand side. Somebody traps some check for Leone Stars, looking forward to connect, showing some dexterity. Leone Stars having the position, plays it through. It's outside. Leave that one for his compatriot. They're still dancing through the right hand side. And that has been given away. The throw has been given to the Egyptians. You're watching Liberty Television. We bring you live commentary in the 2026 African World Cup qualifier. And remember, the World Cup will be played in America, Canada, and Mexico. Egypt still on the position. And there is Mohamed Salah, one of the most consistent players so far within the squad, and the most experienced. Leone Stars playing defensive football, and that mentality needs to be questioned so far. Well, there full chance for them. Mani 22. Very good opportunity. It was Momo Aikama who was dispossessed. Look at it. There we are very close to being front, Mohamed. You saw it. Clear chance for Egypt to score. But I tell you, chance let's go begging. It's nothing for the other side.
Indeed, nothing for the other side. Let's see the team that will definitely break the deadlock here before we go for recess. But so far, it is really an impressive performance for the Egyptians in the first 45 minutes of play. They seem to be enjoying the party here, dominating possession, and they are everywhere on the pitch, knocking the ball here and there. It is really a difficult time for Leone Stars. We pray that, you know, they can be able to see how best they will structure the team whilst, you know, we go for the recess and come back for the second 45 minutes. But honestly, if only we're able to keep the guys of Egypt, you know, without scoring a goal, definitely that could be something good for our darling youngsters. But as it stands currently, looking at the pace of which the Egyptians are playing, it tells you the guys are so more desperate because they are now playing in front of their home crowd. It is also another added advantage for them. Playing away from home, it is really a difficult one in this kind of fixtures that is very, very much important for us, that can determine our qualification. You know, is now playing all the way, you know, in Egypt. So for me, I think it is really a difficult one for our darling youngsters. But let's see how the first 45 minutes will end. But so far, the guys need to see how best they'll continue to keep an eye, you know, on the defensive side whilst keeping the strikers for the Egyptians. As you can see them, the likes of Mo Salah and his compatriots, they are so more desperate up front there with so many moves that they have made in the first 45 minutes. And we also need to give praises to our goalkeeper. You know, he has been making meaningful saves in the first 45 minutes with all the pressure keep coming from the side of the Egyptian. Is really demonstrating skills within the goal line for our darling youngsters.
We still watch the most anticipated fixtures in the group. Leone playing Egypt, and one would say it could be an impressive start for Leone. Still they've not conceded, considering the kind of team they are playing in African football. And Egypt has been dictating the match. They've been having all of the ball possession so far in this first half of play. We have a couple of minutes left so far in the first 45. We have 15 minutes to play for in this particular match of the first half of play. Egypt still on the possession. And of course, Mohamed Kalon is very worried with regards to the performance, and of course Leonians are expecting to see what happened. It's another chance for Egypt. It's deflected. Leons this time slept up and Egypt picked up the loose ball. Still Egypt holding on the position, dictating the possession how it's supposed to be. And Leos playing in the crowded defensive area. Another deflection for a corner. The referee says it's a corner to Egypt. It has been all defending moment in the first 35 minutes of play. And the Leonsters need to be careful. Playing with Drumaba, who played for Lens in the French League One, is a very experienced defensive area, and the likes of Kapisalu. Egypt again with another chance, bit deflected, and this time it's set for a goal kick to the darling Leons. Both sides want to secure the 3 points. They could be in a better chance to qualify depending on the remaining matches left to be played in the group. Is it going to be a history in the making for Sierra Leone to qualify for the very first time in the World Cup? And I guess that will be something to write home about. That's something we could reckon with. After the last time we did extremely well to qualify to the African Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast after 25 years. This time we saw a huge turnaround in football in Sierra Leone. Egypt having the possession, finds his compatriots. Sierra Leone finding the missing ball at the central of the park. Good interception. This time is Kai Kamara. And of course the ball went the wrong direction for Kai Kamara to collect in the hands of the Egyptians. We continue to bring the commentary on Liberty Television, and don't forget to drop in your comments, or you send us your text messages to the number +23274 200-545. The first half commentary, you get in the voice of Al Hassan Pablo, bringing you efficient and consistent commentary in these all important fixtures. Egypt nothing, Sierra Leone nothing, in case you are just joining us in the World Cup 2026 qualifier Alaji Toure kicks the ball to the offensive. Kai Kamara steps forward. And that could come from the Egyptians. Sierra Leone picked up the loose ball on the possession. Playing through the left hand side. Samadia plays it through. Ball in the air. Still the Egyptians reply. It's been very competitive. Leone need to open the match, Mohamed. Because whenever they play an open football, you definitely see the kind of competitive possession they are having with the Egyptians. But whenever we play, we sit behind the fence. We give the opportunity to Egypt to continue to apply more pressure.
And of course, in football, if you want to protect your defensive side, you need to attack. When you fail to attack, definitely you will cause more problem for your defense, and more pressure will keep mounting on the side of your defense. The Pharaohs are seeking their 4th World Cup appearance after they previously qualified in 1934, 1990 and 2018. A victory today will further cement their position at the top of the group, that's Group A, and they will extend their unbeaten run in the qualifiers. And Egypt, they are currently leading Group A with 13 points, 2 ahead of the second place Burkina Faso. Sierra Leone sit third with 8 points, followed by Guinea-Bissau with 6 points, Ethiopia in 5th, while Djibouti remain at the bottom of the table. So it is really an intense fixture today. It is really going to be a decisive one.
It's very decisive. Burkina Faso playing Somalia is nothing for the either side. West Burundi leading Seychelles and Cameroon leading Libya in the World Cup qualifier for African teams. See Kai Kamara with that incredible header. Look at the delivery, and it's very good in the air. That is a fantastic chance for Sierra Leone to be in front. Good precision from the captain Kai Kamara. He has been scoring goals for our darling Leones, and no wonder he is serving as the captain, taking the leadership. You sense Sierra Leone
in Egypt
supporting, giving, raising the green, white and blue. Another chance, and the goalkeeper out of his pivot. Good one for Leones, and I think it's a foul, says the referee. And that opportunity goes to Egypt. 5 minutes more for the first half and the first regulation time. Egypt still under possession. And I tell you, this is a match we describe to be one of the best so far in today's fixtures in the African and World Cup qualifiers. Still Egypt with that delivery. Good one. Alaji. There is a very good one for goalkeeper Alaji Toure. And of course, whenever Alaji is on the goal line, we keep remembering, Fabianski. Yeah. We all know the incredible performance from Fabianski in the African Cup of Nations. So, of course, many people were questioning the decision of Mohamed Kalon leaving Fabianski behind and having other young goalkeepers within the squad of the national team.
One of the policies that Mohamed Kalon initiated in the national team has to do with every player that is not currently playing for any club definitely will not have a call up to the national team, which means you should be part of a club before Mohamed Kalon consider you to be a player that he needs to call upon to join the national team. So this is one of the problems that most of the players, the names that we used to see within the national team, the Buyas, as of the time when Mohamed Kalon is selecting players for the national team, they did not have club. And the likes of the goalkeeper you mentioned, Fabianski, at that time, he did not have any club. Whilst we also have other names, that are renowned names within the national team. Some of them, they are players that are currently injured. So that's why some of these names, we do not see them part of the squad. But so far, the squad that Mohamed Kalon selected to represent the national team in this qualification stage, it is really a very good squad. It all depends on how best we can select the players, because calling upon players is one thing, but also selecting the players is another thing. But really, the performance Mohamed Kalon put on in the first match, the one he played against Guinea-Bissau, really speaks volume. And that's why Sierra Leoneans are more confident and they believe in Mohamed Kalon that he can be able to qualify the team to the World Cup 2026. But with short performance, definitely, for me, I do believe that when they go back to the drawing board during the recess, they will correct all the mistakes that they have observed in the first 45 minutes before coming back to the pitch for the second 45 minutes of play.
Egypt last defeated Sierra Leone by 2-0. And here in the World Cup 2026 qualifier, we have 2 minutes to play for in the first 45 plus additional time. That was a very close one for Egypt. The pressure keep mounting. The preposition of the match speaks volume for this particular encounter. But I think it's one would say it's a very good start for Leone Star based on the experience and based on the calibers of players and the team that we are competing with in these all-important fixtures. But I tell you, Alaji is a fantastic goalkeeper. He played for AC Lions in the Sierra Leone Premier League, and his performance in this match speaks volumes. So Alaji kicks the ball. In the half of the Egyptians is Kai Kama, who replied with the header. And Musa Toumé is on the bench. The previous match he was with the squad in the starting lineup. I think Mohamed Kalon decided to keep him on the bench. We're expecting to see what decision will come from Mohamed Kalon in the second half. Egypt still with the possession at the left-hand side. And Egypt everywhere so far. And they've been doing extremely well in the first half. But the Leone Stars of Sierra Leone are making things so much difficult for them to penetrate. Very comprehensive defensive area with players with more experience. And we want to say many thanks to the management of Liberty TV, bringing live commentary and giving the opportunity for us to bring you live commentary in this important football competition in Africa. That was a hard knock there for the Egypt. I think the referee saw it for an infringement of the rules. Mohamed Kalon having talked with the players, giving instructions to the defensive area. You see how best we could compete. I tell you, since the game started, Mohamed, the coach for Egypt is very worried based on how the match has been played and the kind of performance Sierra Leone has been having so far in the group since the start of this World Cup qualifier. It speaks volume. It tells you Sierra Leone is not an easy side to play, and of course that is what he has sensed in the first 45, because if it is any other country so far, Egypt should have scored. But I tell you, the defensive area for Leone Star is doing extremely well.
Indeed, it will be very difficult for the head coach to sit back, because looking at the performance of Sierra Leone, I think one of the reasons are finally the Egyptian guys, they finally scored their very first goal. They break the deadlock. They are now leading by a goal to nil.
They are leading by a goal to 0. Is Zezo in 21 was
disappointing moment
was scored for Egypt. Sierra Leone at this moment is a very, very tough situation. Zezo on the score sheet for Egypt, and it's quite frustrating for the Leone Stars of Sierra Leone, conceding a goal in the late period of the first 45. That is absolutely disgusting for Leone Star. Look at the poor defensive work, and the goalkeeper was nowhere to be found to make a save. That was a clear finish for Egypt. Zezo takes the lead, and Egypt dictate the match in this late period of the first 45. 3 minutes has been added, Mohamed, and you sense the celebration from Egypt, but it is not yet over until it is over.
You know, we saw this coming, and we've been saying it here in the studio, but again, we have some viewers that are not pleased with some of the words that we mentioned or we altered in the first 45 minutes. You know, at the early start of the match, we see the manner of which the Egyptians are attacking, and of course, whilst our Leone Stars playing more defensive football. And in football, if you want your defense to remain a safe zone, you need to attack. But if you fail to attack, definitely you'll give more chance and more opportunity to your opponent for them to attack against you. And if they continue to attack, there's every possibility for them to record a goal. That's what we just saw, you know. The guys of Egypt, in a very, let me say almost to the end point of the first 45 minutes, in the stoppage time, they recorded their very first goal. So I think Mohamed Kalon, now I can see him moving alongside with the player and his backroom staff, going to the dressing room. I think they will go back to the drawing board for them to make the necessary corrections. You know, where there are mistakes, they need to see how best they will, you know, arrange those mistakes whilst they prepare for the second 45 minutes. But so far, it's really a very poor start for Adalo Leone Stars. You know, what we are expecting is not what we're seeing. The guys, they need to keep defending. If they continue to defend, then it means we'll give more chances and more opportunities to the Egyptians for them to penetrate. And whenever they keep penetrating, they will definitely record more goals. Now we have conceded one. We hope that when we come back for the second 45 minutes, we'll reply to that one goal and also, you know, possibly, you know, take on the lead whilst we see how best the 90 minutes will come to an end.
Frustrating moment for Leone Stars in the first 45, being under pressure, and the Egyptians were everywhere possessing the ball, and of course they were able to have the first goal they are looking for in the first 45 minutes. It's very disgusting, and it's very challenging for Leone Stars if only we want to qualify. So it's a match that we want to see a huge turnaround. It's not yet over because we have seen a lot of comeback for Leone Stars.
Yeah.
In the African Cup of Nations qualifier, we saw it against Nigeria when they conceded 4. They came from the recess and they were able to score. So of course, likewise, this particular match, we have more sensational players, more quality players. All the technical team needs to do, and the head coach, is to change the style of play more attacking football, and see how best we can compete with the Egyptians, because we have the players, we have the leverage, we have the kind of players that could have possession, that could score. That is what we are expecting Mohamed Kalon to do. But of course, we want to say many thanks to you that have been watching the match. We definitely will be looking at some of the messages that have come so far in this particular match, as Leone are playing Egypt in the 2026 World Cup qualifier. In the recession period, Leone trailed by a goal to nothing. We'll be expecting to see what will happen in the second half. Of course, I've been your first half commentator, Al Hassan Koma, and of course, I'll join Mohamed to bring you resume of the first 45 minutes of play before we look at some of the messages that have come in the match.
It is really a very good and a wonderful display by Adalo Leone Stars. But again, I think our national team needs to see how best they will go back to the drawing board and make the necessary corrections that they need to do, because you know, the guys of Egypt, they keep penetrating on our defensive side, and if only we want to respond or reply to the goal that we have already conceded, it means we need to see how best we step up our game, play more attacking football than continue to sit on, you know, on the defense. That by so doing, definitely will give the guys more leverage to keep attacking. Whenever they keep attacking, definitely we cannot able to withstand them altogether. But for me, I think it is really a very good performance for the side of the Egyptians. And whilst Sierra Leone, we're not seeing much of the boys in this particular match. You know, we know that Egypt is a very strong side. You know, we cannot, you know, play them just as we did against the guys of Guinea-Bissau. That's why Mohamed Kalon decided to use this style of play, use this kind of formation. But again, if only we play offensive football, definitely for me, I'm very confident that Egypt will not take the 3 points away from us or neither defeated us in this very match. But we need to take the match onto them. You know, we do not need to continue to sit back on the defense. Mohamed Kalon have a well-structured team. Looking at the bench, he have so many quality players. It's just that if we do the necessary corrections, definitely there is every possibility for us to equalize and possibly secure a win in this very match. So far for me, I don't think all hope is gone. All hope is not yet lost. Let's just continue to press on. And I believe that this is the time for Sierra Leone for us to book a spot in the World Cup 2026.
Well, of course, we'll come back in the second half to bring you more analysis. Continue to stay with us. This is Liberty Television. We'll come back to bring you holistic analysis in the first 45. We'll go to Studio 2 to bring you more commercials. We'll come back. We'll bring you more analysis for the preparation of the second 45 in the World Cup 2026 qualifier.
Supplies on the mix.
For the news we dey around, log into Liberty TV online. Positively we bring the change, they get the masses involved. Staff them everywhere, everywhere. We climb the mountain just to get the news. We go down the slums to get the views. Hey, 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 voices go. Credibility, now we ability, news, skill, reviews, we tell you one time. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. We man them, God picking, let's get the power. They count from here, they count from here, anyhow. Skill, the news, skill, reviews, we tell you one time. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. Man, them, God begin, let's get the power. Keep all of here, count for me anyhow. Liberty we ride, like an eagle we fly. Liberty TV, baby, photo. Climb the mountain just to get the news. Go down the slums to get the views. Hey, yeah, my sister. Hey, yeah. News, beauty, views, they tell you one time. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. We man them, God picking, let's get the power. They count from here, they count from here, anyhow. Give the news, give the view, they tell you one time. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. The human them, God begin, let's get the power. It all over here, come to me anyhow. Speak free and fearless, inclusive journalism. Speak free and fearless, inclusive journalism.
Supplies on the mix.
For the news we dey around, log into Liberty TV online. Positively we bring the change, they get the masses involved. Staff them everywhere, everywhere. We climb the mountain just to get the news. We go down the slums to get the views. Hey, 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 voices go. Hey, hey, hey. Credibility, now we ability, news, skill, reviews, we tell you one time. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. We man them, God picking, let's get the power. They count from here, they count from here, anyhow. Give the news, give the views, we tell you one time. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. We man them, God begin, let's get the power. Keep all of here, count for me anyhow. Liberty we ride, like an eagle we fly. Liberty TV, baby, photo. to get the news. Oh. Go down the slums to get the views. Hey, yeah, my sister. Hey, yeah. News, give the views, they tell you one time. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. We human them, God picking, let's get the power. They count on me, they count on me anyhow. Give the news, give the views, they tell you one time. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. We human them, God picking, let's get the power. They count on me, count on me anyhow. Speak free and fearless, inclusive journalism. Speak free and fearless, inclusive journalism.
Surprise on the mix.
For the news we dey around, log into Liberty TV online. Positively we bring the change, they get the masses involved. Staff them everywhere, everywhere. We climb the mountain just to get the news. We go down the slums to get the views. Hey, yeah, hey, voices down. Hey, yeah, hey. Credibility, no reliability. News, give the views, they tell you one time. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. We human them, God picking, let's get the power. They count on me, they count on me anyhow. Give the news, give the views, they tell you one time. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. Human them, God begin, let's get the power. Keep all on here, count for me anyhow. Liberty we ride like an eagle we fly. Liberty TV, baby, climb the mountain just to get the news. Go down the slums to get the views. Hey, yeah, my sister. Hey, yeah. News, give the views, they tell you one time. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. We human them, God picking, let's get the power. They count on me, they count on me anyhow. Give the news, give the views, they tell you one time. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. The human them, God begin, let's get the power. Keep all of here, come to me anyhow. Speak free and fearless, inclusive journalism. Speak free and fearless, inclusive journalism.
Surprise on the mix. Surprise on the mix.
We look for the news we dey around. Log into Liberty TV online. Positively, we bring the change. They get the masses involved. Staff them everywhere, everywhere. We climb the mountain just to get the news. We go down the slums to get the views. Hi, yeah, hey. Our voices gone. Hi, yeah, hey.
All right, welcome back, viewers. Of course, I also want to welcome you to the continuation of the match. And of course, we see before the halftime, you know, Leone Stars be already don't concede one goal from the Egyptian side. And now that Mohamed Kalon and the boys them don't go to the dressing room, we hope that they don't do all the necessary corrections whilst the team they prepare for the second 45 minutes of play. And of course, we know say really not be a difficult one for Leone Stars inside the first 45 minutes. As a team, the information will then be used inside the first 45 minutes, not be too favorable for the team, because we see the team they play more of defensive football other than play na the attacking side. We make us see so many pressure be the come from the side of the Egyptians, and the defender and the goalkeeper not able to withstand the pressure, they be able to get a goal against Leone Stars. Well, now that we don't come out from the recess, let's see what's the difference. We Mohamed Kalon go can add to the squad, and as we see Nzozi, they're at the church line now.
Yeah,
they prepare Ali Conte. Think inside they can incorporate. I did say Mohamed Kalon want for can play more attacking football. Gets Kai Kamara, now they bring in Nzozi. I think na added value and a plus for Leone Stars.
A very young player so far. Mohamed Kalon introduced, and I remember when he be playing at the Premier League, the Sahel Premier League is been one of the most consistent player for FC Kalon. We all see the number of goals away record inside the local football in the country. So of course, using Nzonzi into this match, it means we want for come and change the dynamics. We want for come and play attacking wise football, and that's early substitution we do. So I think now something we'd expect say if will happen. But of course, they're bringing Nzonzi. Somebody will say why Musa Tomo is on the bench based on experience wise and all that. But of course, there is no way we can question the decision from the head coach. You know what team's supposed to do, you know at which level will they play, and know the expectation of the fans them with regards to this qualification. Remember, Mohamed, this is now all important game where they play inside the World Cup 2026 qualifier. We have been saying this that Egypt not to any easy side. They are powerhouse in football. Then get the quality players in. Then get all it takes, for play Sierra Leone. We are playing as underdogs in this particular match so far inside football. So of course now we no more can able for change the dynamics inside the match and prove people say yes, Sierra Leone we can do it. After we play, Guinea-Bissau in the previous match, we did extremely well. So facing Egypt, we can do it as well. So of course, if the goal we don't concede inside the first 45, no goal definitely kill the spirit of the team. We can even move from that particular trend and come and equalize. If possible, we're able to take a lead inside this match where they play, depending on the mentality of the coach. They look at another chance for the Egyptians. Of course, more pressure coming in. So we get a lot to do inside this particular match. The coach Mohamed Kalon, the technical team has a lot to do for like we will get the boys together and change the dynamics of the match, Mohamed.
Indeed, Mohamed Kalon and his backroom staff need to do the needful in order for them to change the dynamics of the match. Pressure keep coming from the side of the Egyptians. And in case you're just joining us, you're warmly welcome. You're right on board Liberty Online Television. And I'm bringing you commentaries on the match between Leone Stars and that of the Pharaohs of Egypt. This is the second 45 minutes of play. Leone Stars conceded a goal almost to the end of the first 45 minutes. And we're back from the recess for the continuation of the remaining time in this all-historic fixtures here this evening. And of course, this match will determine Leone Stars' qualification to the 2026 World Cup there in America, Mexico, and Canada. Let's see the difference that Leone Stars will make, how the guys will bounce back to level terms before the end of the first 45 minutes. So bringing you commentaries here in the studios, myself, Mohamed Kamara, teaming up with Al-Hassan Kuruma, who happens to be your first 45 minutes commentator. And of course, in the second 45 minutes, I'll be taking you through, whilst Al-Hassan will provide you holistic analysis in the second 45 minutes. The guys of Egypt, they're still on the ball, moving towards the half of Leone Stars. The man in 11 shirts sends it wide, headed away by Juma Ba. They wins it back. It is still in the hands of the Egyptians. The ball roll off, it's settled for a throw. Sierra Leone set to take a throw. This is Abu Dhabi, one time playing for Eastern Lions Football Club, now playing his trade in the diaspora. This is Nzozi, the player that has just been incorporated. Al-Hassan, it was a miscalculated one there. It was really a very good attacking from the side of Leone Stars.
Yeah, of course, that was a very good chance for Leone Stars. I love that precision, and of course we were expecting to see what impact it could create. I think it's a clear chance for
Still enjoying a lead by a single goal. And let's see how Leone Stars will respond to that one and possibly secure an equalizer before the end of the match. It is still the Egyptians, very close to the half of Dali Leone Stars. This is Mo Salah. Sends it to the left-hand flank. It is still the Egyptians dominating possession here this evening, really with an outstanding performance. This time around, it is one of the twins, Al-Hassan, picks up the pieces, moving forward, looking there for an auxiliary. It is still Al-Hassan negotiating his way, but he placed the ball in a traffic congested area. The ball roll off a throw this time for the Egyptians. The man in 15 takes it there to the man in 19 shirts. It is still the Egyptians dominating possession. Really a difficult one here for Adali Leone Stars. We're not seeing the performance Leone Stars put on against Guinea-Bissau. We're not seeing short performance being replicated in this match. Indeed, it is a difficult moment for Adali Leone Stars. Mohamed Kalon, he has made one substitution, bringing in Zozi, Ali Conte, to inject more life to the squad of Leone Stars. But of course, for a striker to spark surprise, it has to do with the midfield. But if the midfield do not able to hold on to the ball, definitely there is no way for you to see the impact of the striker.
Yeah, of course, that is what we are sensing here, because when you defend in the match, you continue to have more pressure when you defend. But of course, if we play in an open, wide football, we're expecting to create more chances, create more dividend in the match, create some kind of opportunities for us to score. But what we are sensing here, like you rightly mentioned, is the fact that Mohamed Kalon is playing defensive football. We play sit back, and we're allowed to get counter-breaking offense in the map. Of course, that could be a very difficult one for us if only we want to play, because they have the players that have experience. Their defensive area is cemented. So playing with Egypt, we are expecting like what we did against Nigeria. When Nigeria scored 4, we came in the second half, we opened the game, we came with more attackers in the match, like he did bringing Nzonzi into the match, and we saw the kind of impact Nzonzi did in the first 2 minutes of play. So that's what we're expecting to see. Musa Tome is on the substitute line. We have other players, more midfielders. They are sitting on the bench. So if we can play that kind of open game, then we are expecting to see more for Sierra Leone. But the Egyptians they are still piling pressure, and the opportunities are still coming for them. For this moment, in the first 53 minutes of play, we expect Sierra Leone to come from the behind to level terms. Then we seek for consolation. We should score at this moment, then we have the leverage and opportunity to take the match before the end of the 90 minutes.
And of course, we all know how normally African football normally plays, looking at the manner of which players in Africa used to procrastinate time whenever they're on the lead. So I think for us to save us that stress, to save ourselves from that stress, it means we need to see how best we up again, secure an equalizer before the 60 or 70 minutes of play. Definitely that will make us have leverage and have a kind of free will for us to play, and also see how best we can able to secure a win.
It is difficult whenever you play Egypt. The likes of the Nigeria, Ghana, Cameroon, those are powerhouse in terms of African football, could find things complicated. Remember how many Nations Cup they've won, how many times they've gained qualification, to the World Cup. So of course, it's not an easy match at all. It's not an easy match for Sierra Leone. But of course, like I strongly believe, we have players to compete. We have the technical know-how, based on the coach and his experience that he has in football. He has played for Sierra Leone. He knows the kind of way, the kind of impact this one could create if only he takes this particular match. He won the match. He gets the 3 points. This could be his second match since he was given the job as an head coach. Of course, it's hard to his CV. So this is very important for Mohamed Kalon. It's not an easy match. He knows that playing Egypt is a very difficult and complicated match. So what he needs to do is to bring in the right players in the second half of play.
Indeed, bringing in the right players in the second half of play is what Mohamed Kalon and his backroom staff need to do as the clock is ticking. Of course, Leone Stars, they need not to be complacent, because we all know how it normally works in Africa. When you allow your opponents to defeat you onto the 70 to the 80th minute of play, definitely they will start procrastinating the time. And Egypt entered the fixtures with an impressive track record, having remaining unbeaten on their last 16 home World Cup qualifying matches with 15 victories and 1 draw. Their recent 2-0 win was against Ethiopia. That was the match which highlighted Mohamed Salah goal and assist. And of course, it is really a very good one for the Egyptians. And while Sierra Leone approached the match with a renewed confidence following a 3-1 victory against Guinea-Bissau. And of course, with a win in this match, definitely will make Sierra Leone be on a comfortable zone, and we'll have strong hope of qualifying to the World Cup 2026. But so far, as it stands, it is really a challenging moment, and we hope that Leone Stars will turn things around. They will definitely respond to the goal that they have conceded in the almost the end of the first 45 minutes. Substitution affecting the guys of Egypt, substituting Mustafa Abdullah in 11 shirts, making his way off the pitch, and whilst they're bringing in another player, Abdul Latif, in 14 to fill the vacuum. Let's see which added impact will this player make. The Egyptians, they are still bringing in more fresh legs for them to boost the momentum
they,
and also
they
the energy within
actually
the squad.
needed the 3 points. They needed this match at all costs. Remember, Mohamed, leading the group will give you a straight qualification to the World Cup.
Exactly.
So of course that is why they are very angry, and they've watched Sierra Leone in their previous matches, and they think Sierra Leone is a team to welcome with. So that's why they came with the numbers of players they have and the quality players for them to get the 3 points. But of course, we still have some minutes to play for. If only Sierra Leone could make a change, or whether we could change the narrative of the match, bring in quality players, we change the formation, because the pressure keep coming in. If it was not the likes of Jumaba and then Salu, that's Kapi Salu, and in that defensive area, we should have conceded more goals. But of course, with their wealth of experience in football, and of course what they've been doing so far for their clubs, is a replica of this particular match. That's why we have that kind of consistent defense. But if only the pressure continue, then we stand to concede more goals. We must ensure we attack. We must ensure that we bring in the right players. The midfield is open. The Egyptians are everywhere. They are dictating the match how it's supposed to be. They are on possession. So there is nothing to write home about for Sierra Leone with regards to possessing the ball. So if only you want to score in football, yes, you can play on the counter-breaking offense. But when you hold on to the ball, you possess, it gives you the chance for you to score.
And of course, when you're able to hold on to the ball and also able to possess as a team, definitely there is every possibility for you to score more goals. Looking at the Egyptian formation they used in the match, 4-4-3 formation, and while Sierra Leone we used 4-4-2 formation. So let's look at the two formations, 4-4-2 on the side of Sierra Leone, and whilst the Egyptian used 4-3-3 formation.
We still play with 4-4-2. 4-4-2 is an attacking formation.
Yeah.
But of course we are still behind the ball. It's definitely worrisome for us based on how the match has been played in the first half, and in the early period of the second 45 we've seen all of the possession coming in for Egypt. But I strongly believe if only the boys could up their game and be focused in holding on to the ball and keep the pressure coming in and keep the possession, then we can score, because we have those players, the likes of Alusai in it. He could play, he could make passes, incredible passes, holding on to the ball. We have Nzonzi is a very quality player as well, who can hold on to the ball. He can kick from a distance and score and all that. So all we need to do is the kind of unity within the squad, and the focus on what the information that has been given from the head coach Mohamed Kalon. But how it stands, Mohamed, is complicated, and Egypt is very strong. They continue to dictate the possession. Sierra Leone could only play on the counter-breaking offense. Whenever the Egyptians have lost the ball, then we start from that particular point. But if we can be clinical, whenever we have the ball on the counter-breaking offense, we are clinical, then we could have a goal in the second half.
Indeed, we need to pile in more pressure for us to see how best we level terms before the end of the match. The clock is ticking. It is now 60 minutes gone so far. And this all-important fixture, Sierra Leone are still trailing behind by a goal to nothing. And of course, this is the 2026 World Cup qualifiers. Egypt are leading the group. And with a win against Leone Stars will make them more comfortable and more assured for them to qualify straight to the World Cup 2026. Let's see how Adali Leone Stars will respond to this. It is Nzozi Ali Conte. It was a very poor delivery there by Ali Conte. Place it there for the man on the left-hand flank. But this was too fast. So many chances on the side of Egypt. And then the All-Stars need to up their game and ensuring that they level terms before the 80th minute of play. And don't forget, you're watching us live on Liberty Online Television. In case you're just joining us, continue to follow Liberty Online Television as we continue to bring you updates on the matches played by Adali Leone. Like always, this is part of giving back to our viewers and ensuring that we provided all what they are looking for in terms of media broadcasting. And of course, the guys of Egypt, they are so much desperate, even though they are leading, but they are so much desperate to see that they score more goals. It is now Adali Leone. It is Juma Ba. Starts it there again to the goalkeeper. Leone started it all over. Goalkeeper cleared it off. It is Abu Dhabi. Very good one. Guys of Egypt in the 18-yard box of Adali Leone. Thank God for Juma Ba with a swift and a timely intervention. It is Al-Hassan. Al-Hassan in possession, negotiating his way. Place it there to Abu Dhabi. He loses possession. The guys of Egypt picks it up. Juma Ba was right in attendance with a cemented defense, and I think Juma Ba is a player to watch. He has been contributing a lot in the defensive side. This is Al-Hassan, right in the 18-yard box of the Egyptians. Let's see. Goodness me. Ball being headed away. And Zozi anticipating for an handball in the 18-yard box, but the referee ignored that one, and he said, please continue. Guys of Egypt, 18-yard box of Adali Leone. Safekeeping there by the goalkeeper for Adali Leone.
It's a very good chance for Al-Hassan with that fantastic strike, and of course it deflected. So a positive start for Leone, because we have been seeing them now in the box of the Egyptians. If only they could keep the pressure, they maintain the possession and the focus on attacking football, we probably could equalize. If only we could not get the 3 points, we should not lose this match. It must be a must-win for Sierra Leone, or we hold the Egyptians to draw based on how the match has been played so far, and we trade our goal to nothing. So at this moment, all we need to do is to focus to score and have the equalizer. You sense Mohamed Kalo, I think, is communicating to the technical team for another substitution to be affected so far for the Leones of Sierra Leone. It is really a very tough moment, and it's a match that we actually, I think
it was an handball.
Yes,
indeed.
they definitely anticipating for an handball, but I think the referee do not consider that. I wonder whether we are playing with a VAR system in African football, so that is definitely tough for African qualifier. It's Salah as well in the box. That was a very good one.
Another chance
for them to be in front by 2 goals, but thank God the defensive area was that too good, and like you mentioned about Juma Ba, his experience within that defense could help Leone to navigate through. Remember, he played for Lens in French League One. He's a Man City player. I'm expecting at the end of the season to see him within the squad of Man City, and that could add some spice to Sierra Leone football. Seeing our Sierra Leone brother playing in the English Premier League, it could add something to local sport in Sierra Leone.
Indeed, it is a very good one and a very good move for a player. That's Juma Ba. Remember, he's a Man City player, currently on loan. By the end of the season, definitely join Manchester City Football Club in the English Premier League. Play continue. It is Al-Hassan, one of the twins. This time is Al-Hassan with a long one. Switch it over to the left-hand side. This is Diaby. It's Diaby in possession, applying some skills. Sends it downfield. Sends it wide. Leone Stars in the promising area. It was a swift intervention there by the Egyptian defender.
I think Al-Hussein is up the game so far. He's been doing so very well based on the kind of opportunities that we have been having so far in the second half. And I keep saying we should continue with that kind of pressure in this match for us to have an equalizer. But we still have some minutes to play for, just 67 minutes gone in the second half. Remember, the Egyptians scored in the first half, in the late period of the first 45, where we saw Zizo Trezeguet. Remember, this player scored against Sierra Leone in the previous match that we played. He scored 2 against Sierra Leone, and of course, in this World Cup qualifier as well, he has scored against Leone. So of course he's a player that used to score against the Darling Leone Stars. So of course we definitely expect to see we come back from our sleeping slumber. We come back to equalize if only we continue with the pressure. This is another corner for Leone Stars, and let's wait and see the impact. You sense the frustration from Mohamed Kalon.
Exactly. Mohamed Kalon seems to be frustrated with the performance of the boys, as you can see him in the church line demonstrating. And Leone Stars, this is another corner for Darling Leone Stars. Let's see what impact will this one make for the team. The guys of Egypt with a very good and a cemented defense. They cleared it off from the half. Leone Stars, it is really difficult for them in these fixtures. Looking for an equalizer while the clock is ticking. And for me, I think it is very important for the coach and his technical team to bring in more strikers. Player like Musa Tumbo is needed within the squad.
Yeah, of course, that's what we are expecting to see. More people sending in messages why Nzonzi was introduced and Musa Tumbo is on the bench. Remember his previous match in the game we played against Guinea-Bissau. He scored in that particular match. Of course, so we are expecting his performance so far in this match. Although we do have some minutes to play, and probably Mohamed Kalon would introduce him in the match. But the people are expecting to see an early introduction of Musa Tumbo in these all important fixtures. Of course, the Egyptians are really desperate. They are up to the task. They've been attacking. The Leone Stars of Sierra Leone under pressure. Remember, we are not playing at home. So those are all disadvantages to the club, to the country, I beg your pardon. If you are not playing in front of your home crowd, we know how it means in African football.
Yeah.
Remember, when you play at home in African football, you have the advantage. You have the advantage of winning that particular match. Of course, it is an encouraging moment for the Leone Stars of Sierra Leone. It's a good start. We still have the players that could change the dynamics, that could bring in we could bring in new players to change the kind of things that we're expecting to see in this particular match. All we need to do to focus is to score. In football, when you score, you have the leverage of the teeth in the match how it's supposed to be. So this is a match that we should not be discouraged as fans, because we know what we did against Guinea-Bissau. So playing Egypt is a tougher side, because that's football. We must say that's a fact so far. There is no way we could hide, or we definitely play around the facts in football. They have the quality players more than Sierra Leone. They've been consistent so far in qualification in the African Cup of Nations and World Cup qualifier. So playing Egypt, we always refer Sierra Leone as the underdogs. So except otherwise we came from the behind to see our best we change the dynamics of the match. So we still should focus. The technical team should watch the match like Mohamed Kalon did. I think Musa Tombo is going to be introduced. I think he's on the line to be introduced in the second half, just like what we've been saying. That is much more needed in this particular match because we want to score and we must bring in striker that has the focus, that has the scoring mentality for us to equalize at this moment before talking about the winning. So of course the captain has been substituted, Kai Kamara bringing Musa Tombo.
It is really a very good one, very good substitution made by Mohamed Kalon, substituting the headmaster, Kai Kamara, and bringing in Musa Tombo to fill the vacuum. It is really a very good substitution. Let's see the impacts that Musa Tombo will definitely bring to the squad of Darling Leone. And remember, Musa Tombo of late is the fans' favorite player in Sierra Leone football. You know, whenever Musa Tombo is not with the squad, definitely you see so many concerns coming from the supporters, spectators of Sierra Leone football. You know, they've started asking so many questions why Musa Tombo is not part of the squad. I can remember when Coach Amidou Karim was in charge of Leone Stars as head coach, you know, on one or two occasions, he dropped Musa Tombo off from the squad. There are so many concerns keep coming from the supporters. Why Musa Tombo is not part of the squad, you know, and he has been incorporated to the squad in the second 45 minutes, even though we're expecting to see him just in the start of the second 45 minutes, looking at the fact that we are down and we want to secure an equalizer before the end of the match. But incorporating him within the 73rd minutes of play, I think it is really a good one. So let's see.
I think it's a very good one because we still have some, like you mentioned, we still have some minutes to play for in this second half. Let's wait and see the impact of Musa Tombo in the squad of Sierra Leone. And of course, we have a football folk who has been following Liberty Sports. There's Alaji Omar Kuma is watching live from Makini. And he has been one of the football fanatic who has been following Leone Star for quite a very long time as well. Has been following Liberty Sports. He's watching all the way from Makini. That's Alaji Omar Okoma General Mistake is watching at that part of the country. So of course, Musa Tombo within the squad could add some leverage, could add some spice, and probably could bring the smile that Sierra Leoneans are expecting to take this match to an equalizer or probably give us the winning that could secure us the 3 points, and then we have a way to compete with Egypt, because even if we win, Egypt will continue to lead the group, but we probably could have a little bit point different with them in that particular group, Mohamed.
Indeed, Egypt, they're everywhere in the pitch in shots of more goals, even though they are leading by a single goal. And let's see a foul being committed on the side of Leone Stars. Abu Dhabi happens to be the culprit, and remember Abu Dhabi, he has already secured a yellow card. I think he needs to be calm because so many fouls being committed by this player.
Yeah,
I'm afraid for the referee not to show him a red card.
Yes, I think he has a yellow card. Of course, he must be mindful. And many people probably would expect Mohamed Kalon to take him off the match.
The pitch, yeah.
Yes, because we know Abu Dhabi is a defensive six so far for Sierra Leone, and he has been committing a lot of tackle and fouls so far. So he must be mindful. Remember, he's a captain now. Kaikama is off the pitch, and he needs to definitely focus and see how best he could deviate himself from committing foul, which could not give us that kind of pressure as well if we have a red card in this particular match. Very good one from the young player, Ali Nzonzi. I'm so much happy to see young talented players within the squad of Sierra Leone, Mohamed. That tells you Mohamed Kalon has been following the local football in Sierra Leone. He knows the players that are active, and he knows the players that probably could change something with regards to the squad of Sierra Leone. We have been playing with more professionals, but this time it's unprecedented to see Sierra Leone playing with more than 18 home-based players in a very competitive football competition in Africa.
Indeed, Mohamed Kalon really changed the dynamics of football in Sierra Leone. You know, before this time, we used to see more foreign-based players being called up to the national team to represent the country in international competitions. But Mohamed Kalon changed the dynamics by giving the honors to home-based players dominating the national team squad. And it also tells you it's very important that we have a league that is up and running. Because of the league, Mohamed Kalon, it is easy for him to spot players because the league is going on. And it's one of the good things under the leadership of Thomas Dadi Brahima. We're seeing a functionable league playing cut across the country. And it is easy for a head coach of the national team to be able to select home-based players because the league is up and running. Match still in progress. It is Alasan. It is now Samadia sent it wide, but nobody there to compliment his efforts. The guys of Egypt, they picks it up. Sent it to the left-hand flank. Mesmerizing performance on the side of the Egyptians. Leone Stars are still trailing to see how best they can level terms. And of course, Jumaba, he is a star man in the defensive side for Leone Stars with so many cutoffs and good saves from the player himself, Jumaba, the Sierra Leonean player playing for a team in the diaspora. Yes. Another chance for Adali Leone Stars. Goodness me. The Egyptians, they are so robust, you know, keeping their defensive area very, very cemented, not allowing Leone Stars or the Sierra Leonean players to be able to break through.
It is really a very good one. Like I told you earlier, the coach for Egypt knows that Sierra Leone is a better side. And I'm pretty sure he has been watching Sierra Leone. Remember the previous match, we definitely, change the perception of African with regards to rating Sierra Leone as one of the teams that could probably break the deadlock in that particular group. So of course that game motivated the players and also made Egypt to look at Sierra Leone as one of the strongest side within the group to compete with, because we are playing with 8 points, wise Egypt is playing with 13 points in the group. Remember, like I told you earlier on, the team that will lead the group will have a straight qualification to the World Cup. So which it is between Sierra Leone and Egypt. One of them will probably lead the group. And if only Sierra Leone wants to lead the group, we must have a win in this particular match. I've been communicating to a friend who is presently watching us live from Australia. That's Abubakar Din Kagbo. He has been saying that we don't have the players. We don't have the players to compete with Egypt. Like we did the first substitution when we bring in Ali Zonzi. He was asking who is the next player to be introduced in the match for us to have that equal position with Egypt in this all important qualification. But I told you, we have the players. It depends on the formation and the technicality of the coach, Mohamed Kalon. But of course, Mohamed Kalon is skeptical based on his decision, based on the players that he has to introduce in the second half. So those are some of the problems. But now you sense, Mohamed, the game is actually 50-50 now, based on ball possession. Because we are so much robust, we are going into their offensive area, creating chances, and also looking for how best we could have an equalizer in the second half. Look at it, from that angle, that we have that chance for us to break the deadlock. But the ball went the wrong direction. You see, this man is Samadia. He was not part of the squad in the previous match, but of course, introducing him has been one of the most consistent players for Sierra Leone since he was introduced in the squad of the national team. So we still have some minutes to play for. We have 9 minutes more, which is very close to regulating time so far. So it's going to be very tough for us. Mohamed, is going to be very, very tough for Sierra Leone in this particular match. But it is not yet over because it's only the 90 minutes that could separate the two sides in football. We've seen competitive match wherein a team will come from the behind in the late period, probably in the additional time they could have a goal or have an equalizer in that particular period. But all we pray for Sierra Leoneans is for us to score, is for us to secure the 3 points and have a better chance in the goal.
Indeed, to have a better chance in the groupings. Of course, one of our defensive player, that is Nathaniel Jallo, is down. Another substitution to be made. Another substitution to be made on the side of Leone Stars, substituting Abu Diaby, making his way off. Why is they bringing in the man in 14 shirts to fill a vacuum? That is Mohamed Bangura. And of course, Leone Stars, they want to see how best they can able to secure an equalizer before the end of the match. It's really an entertaining football match we're watching here this evening. It is the 2026 World Cup qualifiers. Leone Stars versus Egypt. Remember, Leone Stars played against Guinea-Bissau, in which Leone Stars defeated them by 3-1 with a very good and outstanding performance in that match. But we're not seeing short performance being replicated in today's derby.
It is what many people has been questioning. For the players to put more effort, they must be very, very impressive. I believe the match we won against Guinea-Bissau, there was a match bonus for them. Likewise, this one that we played against Egypt, we are expecting, whether they have a draw or win, we probably could expect from the sport ministry and out of NSA for them to have a match bonus as well. So those the encouraging things coming from the sport ministry could add to the enthusiasm of the players whenever we have this kind of football match, because your country will be rated more when you win big matches, big games. So far, like you play Egypt, you have a win against Egypt, then we definitely could be ranked better than other African countries, you know, in securing space in the World Cup. So there is something to play for. It is not yet over. I continue to say that it is not yet over. We still have something. This is something that we could say, yeah, we could not rule out what Mohamed Kalon and the technical team has done with regard preparing this ball, because we know the kind of team that we are playing. We know the calibers of players they have internationally and what they've done in African football. So holding them to this moment with a single goal they scored in the late period of the first 45, I think it's a very good start for Sierra Leone. But we are expecting to see a goal at the end of these 90 minutes, because the dynamics of the games has definitely changed based on the few substitutions we made in the second half moment. So we just need to focus. We just need to play wide way football, taking the ball to the opponent and playing long crosses football. Then probably, because Musa Tumbo is up there, we have Ali Uzozu as well. Those are strikers that could score at any moment of the game.
Indeed. If only the area of the midfield able to hold on to possession, definitely the striking force will deliver of 10. And the match still in progress. This is a player called Nathaniel Jallo. He loses possession through this time for Adali Leone Stars. Nathaniel set to take the throw. It is one in favor of Egypt, Sierra Leone nothing. And Leone Stars, they are so more desperate to see that they secure an equalizer. A player has been incorporated. That is Isco, the man that hailed from Kafubulum, playing for FC Kalon. He has just been incorporated. A very good and a sensational winger. He has been incorporated to the squad. Let's see the impact that
I always sense whenever this player is introduced, like you coming from Kafubulum, whenever Isco is introducing the match, I sense the kind of dexterity coming from you as a as a sports commentator. You see, like you coming from CAF Bulom, you know that is how Sierra Leone is now.
No, I
Because
do not
when
hail
your
from,
player
I do
is
not hail from
introduced,
CAF Bulom.
is introduced in the match, you sense that kind of desperation coming.
It's just
But I
that-
think he's a very fine player
Yeah.
anyway. He's a very fine player.
It's just that I love the player technicality in the pitch. Very young, but very skillful. And of course, is one of the few promising players in Sierra Leone that you cannot rule out at all. You know, considering his skills and contribution so far. Let's see, a corner to be taken. Mo Salah sends it wide. The ball dropped in the half of Adali Leone Stars. Clearance by the man in 22 shirts. I think it could be a goal kick for Adali Leone Stars. Love the moments. And of course, a very entertaining football match. You can see the kind of anxiety, and the goalkeeper is so more desperate to see that the Leone Stars secure an equalizer. When the ball go out of the pitch, you can see is so much desperate to see that the place continue.
Yes, I think it's a goalkeeper to reckon with. You know, Alaji Tui has been doing extremely well for Leone Star. No doubt that particular replacement of Fabiaski is something to write home about. It speaks volumes for Sierra Leone. So of course the match, because I think we just have 2 minutes of the 90 to play for. Look at the coach for Egypt, very worried, and he needed this particular 3 points. He wants to secure it because he knows that Sierra Leone is a better side, and it could be difficult to see how it unfolded in the 90 minutes, because we could score at any moment. Look at the possession in the second half, in the late period of the second half. It all goes to Leone Stars, and Leone Stars are definitely looking for the equalizer. Another one, they play through the flank. Let's wait and see. The ball comes in, and Egypt denies it. They are playing now on the counter-breaking offense. That could be dangerous. It's Mohamed Salah, but thank God the intervention of the defense of Sierra Leone. It's still Sierra Leone on the possession. Juma Ba plays the ball to his compatriot this time for Leone Stars. Moving forward, the loses possession, and still Sierra Leone picked up the loose ball. Magnificent football, and I tell you, it's mesmerizing in the second half. I love the precision, Mohamed. I love the control and the confidence that the players have. Though it was unfortunate for Sierra Leone, I could say this is really unprecedented and unfortunate for Sierra Leone because we consider in the late period of the first 45.
Indeed, another chance again for the Egyptians, and of course Nathan Jallo was right in attendance, and he was able to salvage the situation for Adali Leone Stars. The match still in progress, 90 minutes gone, 4 minutes added time, and of course the guys of Egypt, they scored their first goal in the first half, extra time.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That them scoring in the late period, I guess is well unfortunate for us as a country, because we hold them to that time, and in the late period of the added minutes in the first 45 they were able to score, which means we can compete. We have the players to compete with whatever nation in Africa, because playing Egypt, one of the most decorated African team that won the Nations Cup for multiple times, it means yes, Sierra Leone is gradually improving in terms of football, and we have something to write home about. With the introduction of Mohamed Kalon, there's positive things coming ahead of our football in Sierra Leone.
Indeed, love the moments, an outstanding performance so far for the Egyptian team. Once Leone Stars, they are still defending, even though they are down.
I think it's a yellow
Player
card.
for Leone Stars has
Yeah.
just been decorated with a yellow. for an unsportsmanship behavior.
Yes.
It's really a very bad one.
That was a careless yellow card.
Indeed,
so to
a
speak.
well-deserved one.
It's well-deserved one from, I think it's Isco.
It's cool.
Yes, it was Isco. But I think that was the first foul was committed by the Egypt. I think the referee did not
Ignore
that
action,
particular
yeah.
one. It should have been an opportunity for Sierra Leone.
Indeed. The Egyptian bringing in more substitutes, more fresh legs to the squad. Bringing in the man in 8, substituting the man in 7. And also Mohamed Trezeguet making his way off. Bringing in Omar Mamouche. And of course, Mohamed Abdel Hussein is also making his way off. Mamouche being incorporated. And it tells you the guys want to really defend the goal that they have recorded.
Yeah, I think they have like we have 4 minutes added to the 90. Within the 4, we have played 2 minutes so far in the added time of this particular match. But of course, Sierra Leone trailed by a goal to nothing. In case you are just joining us, we are bringing you live commentary from Liberty Television on our Facebook, YouTube, and on our website so far. So of course, continue to send in your messages. And I want to say many thanks to all the fans of Sierra Leone, both home and abroad, who have been definitely following us live with regards to this particular match. Of course, we still have a minute more, Mohamed. It's frustrating, very frustrating for Sierra Leone in this match. But let's wait and see how it unfolds.
Indeed, it's a matter of let's wait and see. You can never say never. Though we gradually approaching the moment of separation here. Alain Zozi lose possession. To also be taken. There is Nathan El Jallo.
I think Mohamed Kalon is definitely on the short line. He has not been actually having that kind of quiet moment, you know. He's very desperate, talking to the boys, telling them what they're supposed to do and what they needed in the match, you know. In this, they've been very impressive, Mohamed, so to speak, based on how we have played in the late speed of the second half.
Yeah.
They have been very impressive. All they need to do is to focus, and I think this probably could be the last chance for Sierra Leone if only we want to take home a single point. So all Egypt to draw could be the chance for Sierra Leone. I think that is the end of this old football competitive match that we played in the World Cup 2026 qualifier, and Sierra Leone lost to Egypt by a goal to nothing. It's frustrating back home here.
Indeed.
As spectators, we are not expecting to see short result.
Indeed.
We probably we were expecting to see the same thing that happened in the Guinea-Bissau match could be a replica to the one we play against Egypt. But I tell you, it's frustrating and we have a lot to do.
It is really a sad moment for our darling Leone Stars, losing by a single goal to the guys of Egypt. It is really a difficult one for supporters and spectators of Sierra Leone national team, our darling Leone Stars. What a very good, outstanding performance there by the Egyptians, and they're now leading and atop the groupings. And of course, let's see. All be next for our darling Leone Stars. But
sure.
So far, it is really a disappointing one. But of course, the team played well in the second 45 minutes. If only they started with that kind of speed, definitely we couldn't have lost to the guys of Egypt.
Yeah, of course, that was a very good spirit they started with. And, you know, every player moving towards Mohamed Salah for a snapshot. It says you the leverage of the expertise of Mohamed Salah in football. Is one of the best player in Africa and one of the best as well in the world of football. You remember in the consistent for Liverpool and the highest goal scorer so far for Liverpool in the Premier League. So of course, having short players within the squad of Egypt is one who say is an added advantage. an added advantage to Egypt playing with Mohamed Salah.
Indeed.
You know, so of course, let's say for Leone Star, we played well. We played well. And we definitely will say there is something that we should do in our next fixtures to see how best we continue to bring the boys together and win more games so far. We do have some games to play for in the group. And now playing Egypt with 16 points, while Sierra Leone with 8 points. So of course, before the end of this, we are going to analyze the group and mathematically work on how the qualification stage will look like for the World Cup 2026 qualifier. So of course, it's been very good for Sierra Leone to hold Egypt to this moment. In this first half, we hold them to the late period of the second half. They score in the added minutes of the second half. In the first half as well, I beg your pardon. And in the second half, we changed the dynamics. We brought in new players that definitely won possession, creating chances, but we failed to score. We failed to hit the target. You know, that is one of the most challenging issue for Mohamed Kalon, because all of the players that we have brought in into the squad, we are not able to focus so far with regards to this particular match. So of course, for me, Mohamed, like you definitely will say yes, Sierra Leone did extremely well. For me, I would say yes, we did extremely well, but there is something that we need to work on with regards to the players and the coaching staff, and which formation we're supposed to use with regards to this particular qualification stage to the World Cup.
Better luck to Dali Leone Stars. They did extremely well, but of course that's football. We know that Egypt is a well-structured side, powerhouse in African football. Playing against them, it means a lot, and I think Mohamed Kalon has done extremely well so far in the two matches that he has played. You know, the first one against Guinea-Bissau, it was indeed a very good performance, and we saw Leone Stars secure 3 points in the match against Guinea-Bissau. And the fans were expecting the same thing to replicate in the second match that we played today against Egypt, But it's quite unfortunate that we are unable to secure a point, neither secure 3 points in these all-important fixtures. But we hope and pray that Leone Stars, under the leadership of Coach Mohamed Kalon, they can be able to put their house in order and see how best they'll get themselves prepared for subsequent meetings with other countries. But so far, let's look at critically the match. As the match has already come to an end, let's look at the team selection, the one Mohamed Kalon did, in the match against Guinea-Bissau, and the team selection for today's match. Where do you think Mohamed Kalon got it wrong that we were unable to secure a win in these fixtures?
For me, I would say I don't have problem with the team selection, but I do have problem with the style and formation that we use in the first 45. We were expecting Sierra Leone to play an open football, very attacking mentality football, but we sit behind and allow the Egyptians to get on the ball, to get the possession. That brings the pressure in, to the squad onto the late period of the 45 minutes that we are able to score. But remember, Mohamed, when we came from the recess, we came to the second half. You saw when we opened the game, we bring in players that do have the mentality to hold the ball and get possession. You saw the kind of chances that we created. Although we do not have many opportunities of getting more chances to score, but of course we were able to possess. We have the players that created chances as well and keep the Egyptian defense very, very mindful of a moment that we could score at any time from that moment. So for me, the squad was okay. The first starting lineup was okay, but it's just depend on what the coach told them to do. The technical team, what they told us the starting lineup to do was what they played for. That you should sit behind and play on the counter-breaking offense. So there lies the problem with Leone. So remember, I could take your minds back again when we play Nigeria. It was the same thing that happened, that we played behind the ball when Nigeria scored the 4 goal. Well, when we came second half, we were able to open the game. We played attacking-minded football, and we were able to score 4 goals. So for this game today, it's the same thing that happened, that we play behind. And the late period of the second half, we opened the game. And there was no chances as well for us. Because they have quality players than Sierra Leone. Their defense is very focused, very structured, and very experienced defender they have. So that is the problem. We don't have the material. We have the materials, but it's the style of play that we use and the kind of formation that Mohamed Kalon used.
So looking at the squad of Egypt and that of Sierra Leone and the performance of the boys in today's match, and we compare the performance of the boys in the previous match we played against Guinea-Bissau. With this performance and the outcome of the match, the results, the match we ended with, do you think, are we supposed to congratulate the boys, or is a fault on the side of the team, or do you think it is inexperience that lead to Leone Stars losing the match to the hands of Egypt?
Yeah, for me, I'll say I would commend the team. First, I'll commend the team for short performance, because why I need to commend them is the fact that you are playing with a team that's far more better than you in football, that is far more rated in world football and African football than you. So of course, if you hold them to the kind of way that they only scored one goal in this particular, it means there is a little bit improvement in football in Sierra Leone. Remember when Sierra Leone was playing those days 5-6 years back, Mohamed, if we play Nigeria, Egypt and Cameroon, we are expecting to concede like 5-6 goals. But for now, you know that we have quality players. Like you mentioned about Jumaba, is an experienced player. He played in one of the best leagues so far in the world. He has played in Spain, he has played in French League One, and now at the end of the season, we are expecting to see him play in the English Premier League. The likes of Alisson as well, the likes of Mustafa Bundu. Remember, Mustafa Bundu scored against Man City in the FA Cup whilst he played for Plymouth. So these are all sensational, and these are all quality players within the squad of Sierra Leone. And remember, one thing people should understand is the fact that Sierra Leone is a football nation. Sierra Leone is a football nation. We have won the Zone 2. We have participated in the African Cup of Nations thrice. Remember, when we qualified the last 2 times, it takes us 25 years for us to qualify to the Nations Cup. So, of course, building up the squad, we are second in the group. In the World Cup qualification, it speaks volumes. It tells you there is something to write home about in football, and there is a bigger picture. Let's look at the bigger picture. We look at the bigger picture, because Mohamed Kalon is just a new coach and he has a lot to learn.
Yeah.
He has a lot of players to bring into the squad. This is a test case for Mohamed Kalon. There is not how we could judge him at this moment. This is the second game. He won the first one, and the second one he lost to Egypt. Let's wait and see the upcoming matches so far in the group, what we expect to do. Though Egypt is leading the group with 16 points and Sierra Leone with 8 points. So that's a far margin between Sierra Leone and Egypt. We have been anticipating to see Sierra Leone lead the group, because when you lead the group, you have a straight qualification to World Cup. But if you take second and third, you need to play other qualification matches that will take you to the World Cup.
All right, Alassane, before letting you go, finally let's comment on the comments keep coming from our viewers, commenting that you guys are criticizing the national team. You guys are not showing kind of patriotism to your country. You are not giving words of encouragement to the national team. So what's your take?
Yeah, for me, I know all those words coming in from our viewers and our sport-loving fans is because of the anxiety that they have, and because of the love they have in the game, Mohamed, because you only want to see your country win. But for us in the studio, I believe we are professionals. We know what it entails in talking about sports and doing sports commentary. When you talk about sports and you do sports commentary, you should not be one-sided, because I am a Sierra Leonean. So when I do commentary on a match between Sierra Leone and another nation, I give more to Sierra Leone. I must ensure that I give a level playing field to talk about what the game stands for, to talk about how it stands for Sierra Leone, to talk about what we are expecting to see in the match, and give the kind of confidence to our viewers out there that this is what Sierra Leone is going through, and we expect Sierra Leone to move from that trajectory to another level and be competitive wise. Okay. And we also should look at the record, because it's clear, it's crystal clear. The record between Sierra Leone and Egypt, they are far better than Sierra Leone, which most of the spectators and our viewers know it, that Egypt are far better than Sierra Leone. We can only change things, because in football you can't rule a team out. It's only the 90 minutes that could justify those teams. So for me, it's a pleasure. I want to say many thanks to those viewers who have been sending their messages and who have been following Liberty Online TV. We appreciate all those comments coming in so far with regards to analysis and our commentaries here. So continue to follow Liberty Television for the very best in sports, and we're here to give you all the very best, because we are very nationalistic in terms of sport, in terms of other development in Sierra Leone. We are here at your service to provide the very best. And I want to say many thanks to the management, Madam Khadija Bangua, Mabel Kaba, Alex Koma, for giving us the platform to reach out to our Sierra Leoneans and our viewers. I want to say many thanks. It's a pleasure. Till we catch up again in the next fixtures that Sierra Leone will play in the 2026 qualifier for the World Cup. I have been your analyst and your commentator, Al-Hassan Pablo. It's a pleasure being here. Till we meet again.
Thank you so much. He is Al-Hassan Kuruma, serving as my co-here throughout the match. And of course, this is all we have for you. Hopefully, we'll join you guys some other time whenever. Leone Stars will definitely play another fixtures in our subsequent matches. We want to wish the team all the very best in their subsequent matches, and also kudos to Coach Mohamed Kalon and the boys. Really, for me, I think it is a plus for our nation. Playing against Egypt, just conceded a single goal. That means there is work in progress, and of course, Mohamed Kalon, it need more time, for him to build a well-structured team that will definitely represent our country in any international football competition. And also, I want to thank all the viewers for your comments and your sentiments so far in the commentaries box, in the comment section, and also the messages that you guys keep sending throughout the 90 minutes. Hopefully, till we meet again some other time. I remain to be your humble servant, Mohamed Kamara. Till then, I want to wish you all a lovely night. Goodbye.
For the news we dey around, log into Liberty TV online. Positively we bring the change. They get the masses involved. Staffs them everywhere. We climb the mountain just to get the news. We go down the slums to get the views. Hi, yeah, voices come. Hi, yeah. Credibility, now we ability. News, give the views, the tell where you want them. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. We human them, girl picking, there's a get power. You count on me, you count on me anyhow. Give the news, give the views, the tell where you want them. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. We human them, girl picking, there's a get power. Call on me, count on me anyhow. Liberty we rise, like a nigga we fly. Liberty TV day before. Climb the mountain just to get the news. Go down the slums to get the views. Hi, yeah, voices down. Hi, yeah, give the news, give the views, the tell where you want them. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. We human them, girl picking, there's a get power. You count on me, you count on me anyhow. Give the news, give the views, the tell where you want them. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. We human them, girl begin, let's get the power. You call on me, count on me anyhow. We speak free and fearless, inclusive journalism.